Now, congruency. When a figure is congruent, when it is exactly same, the figure is said to be congruent. Now, for example, this line AB, it has to coincide exactly with CD to be congruent. This parallelogram A, B, C, D, P, Q, R, S has to exactly coincide with this to be congruent. This triangle ABC, DEF has to exactly coincide for the triangles to be congruent. Now, if two geometrical figures coincide exactly by placing one over the other, the figures are said to be congruent to each other. This is the symbol for congruence. Now, when you say congruent, how you are going to say it is congruent? This point A has to coincide with C, B has to coincide with D, so that when it is placed, then it exactly coincides and therefore it is congruent. Now this figure, this point A, P has to coincide, B and Q has to coincide, D, S has to coincide, C, R has to coincide. The sides AD has to coincide with PS, AB has to coincide with PQ, BC has to coincide with QR, DC has to coincide with SR, and the angles A has to correspond to B, BQ has to correspond with Q and it will be exactly equal. D has to correspond to S and the angles will be exactly same. C has to correspond with D, the angles will be exactly same. So all the sides, all the angles, the corresponding angles, corresponding sides have to be equal. So when the figure is placed one above the other, they coincide exactly and therefore it becomes congruent. Now for a triangle ABC, DEF, the point A corresponds to D, B corresponds to E, C corresponds to F, the side AB corresponds to DE, AC corresponds to DF, BC corresponds to EF. The angle A is equal to D, B is equal to E, C is equal to F. So these are corresponding angles which are equal, corresponding sides which are equal, and when the figure is placed one above the other, they are exactly same. They correspond with each other, they coincide with each other, and they are exactly same in all the manners. Now this triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Triangle ABC congruent to DEF. These are the symbols which shows that they are congruent to each other. Conditions of congruency. Now, if three sides of one triangle are equal to the three sides of the other triangle, each to each, then the two triangles are congruent. So here AB has to be congruent to PQ, AC has to be congruent to PR, and BC has to be congruent to QR. If three sides of the triangle are equal, then the triangles are congruent. So here you can see the sides are equal. AB equal to PQ, BC is equal to QR, AC is equal to PR. Now the triangle is congruent. triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR by SSS test. Now here triangle ABC is congruent to PQR. When two triangles are congruent, you have proved by SSS test. Sides are equal, the triangles are equal. Then the angles automatically become equal. So corresponding angle A is equal to P, B is equal to Q, C is equal to R. So when we know the triangles, we have proved the triangles are congruent by SS test, then the angles, they are corresponding angles are also equal. Now, if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to two sides and the included angle of the other triangle, each of the triangles are congruent. Now, what it means is two sides. Here, the side XY is 6 centimeter, BC is 6 centimeter. Therefore, XY is equal to BC. XZ is 4 centimeter, AB is 4 centimeter. So, these two corresponding sides are equal. Now here very important that the angle which is to be equal has to be included by the two congruent sides. Two congruent sides XY, XZ. Here the angle YXZ is the included angle. And here ABC, the included angle by this ABBC is this angle ABC. So this included angle is equal. So these two triangles XYZ ABC, they are equal by the condition, by the test, that is SAS. The two sides are equal and the included angle, when two sides are equal and the angle is in between, then the triangle is congruent. So this condition is known as side angle side. Here AB is equal to XZ. BC is equal to XY. Now an angle ABC is equal to ZXY. So this triangle is congruent. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ZXY by SAS test, or the condition is SAS, that is side angle side. Now, if this angle is equal to this angle of the triangle ABC PQR, and this angle is equal to this Q, B is equal to Q, and the angle C is equal to R. These two angles are congruent. B is congruent to Q, C is congruent to R. Two angles are corresponding angles are congruent, and the included side, the side in between these two angles, is equal to the side of these two included angle which are congruent, corresponding congruent angles. If the included side is congruent, then this triangle is congruent. So you can see BC is congruent to QR, angle B is congruent to Q, and angle C is congruent to R. Now this triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. On what condition? What test it has followed? ASA test. That is angle in between side and again angle. So by ASA condition or test, these two triangles are congruent. So if two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to the two angles and the included side of the other triangle, then the triangles are congruent by ASA test. Now, if the angle B is equal to Q, C is equal to R, and not the included side but the other side is congruent, then these two triangles are congruent by AAS test, that is two angles and one side. So here in this triangle, these two angles. These two angles are congruent to these two angles. B is congruent to Q, C is congruent to R. But the side is not included in between. The side is on the other side. AC is congruent to PR. Therefore, this triangle ABC is congruent to PQR by AAS test. That is angle, angle, side. So if two angles and a side, not the included side of one triangle, are equal to the two angles and the corresponding side of the other triangle, then the triangles are congruent by AAS test, that is angle, angle and one side. So this is one of the conditions where the triangles are congruent. Now, in the triangle ABC and FED, see the correspondence ABC, FED. This is a right angle triangle. So this is 90, this is 90. Now, this side AB is congruent to EFE. AB is congruent to FE. See, these two are congruent. And the hypotenuse AC is congruent to FD. This is hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is congruent and one side is congruent. It is a right angle triangle, so the angle is of course congruent, but it is not an included angle, and therefore these two triangles are congruent by right angle hypotenuse side, which is RHS. Now you can see angle B is congruent to angle E, which is 90. It's a right angle, so this has to be 90. Now AB is congruent to FE. AB is congruent to FE. AB is congruent to FE. The hypotenuse AC is congruent to hypotenuse FD. So here AC is congruent to FD. Therefore, the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FED. So here the corresponding angles, angle A is equal to F. A is equal to F. Angle B is equal to E. B is equal to E. And angle C is equal to D. So this angle C is equal to D. Now AB and EF. AB and EF. They are the corresponding sides. The angles are congruent, therefore these two sides are equal. AC is congruent to FD. These are the corresponding sides. So AC and FD are equal. BC and ED. BC and ED. They are equal. They are the corresponding sides. So these two triangles are equal, congruent by right angle hypotenuse side, which is abbreviated as RHS. Now look at these triangles, whether they are congruent or not. How will you decide whether these two are congruent? One angle B is given 20, Y is given 20. Here it is 110, here it is not given. Here it is 50, Z is not given. How do you decide whether the triangles are congruent? So you know that the total of angles of any triangle is equal to 180. So let me find out the angle A. A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180. Now here B is given as 20, C is given as 50, and you have to find out the angle A. So it is how much? 20 plus 50 is 70. Angle A is equal to 180 minus 70 is equal to 110 degree. Angle A is 110 degree. So here it is 110. So you know this angles are equal. But does it prove that they are congruent? No, because this is not the included angle. So let me find out Z. Z, same principle applies. X plus Y, angle X plus angle Y plus angle Z is equal to 180 degree. Now X is given as 110 plus Y is 20 plus Z, you have to find out 180. 110 plus 20, 130 plus angle Z is equal to 180 degree. Angle Z is equal to 180 minus 130. Angle Z is equal to 50. So now you know the angle Z. Z is 50. Now 20, 20, B, Y, angle B is equal to Y because both are 20. Angle C is equal to angle Z, both are 50. And this side BC is congruent to YZ is given. So these two triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. So the test is ASA test. By this ASA test, that is angle, side, angle, these two triangles are congruent. Now look at this figure. What is given is AB is parallel to CD. These two lines are parallel. Now, not only parallel, they are equal. This much is given. That two lines are parallel and they are equal. Only that much is given. What is asked? Prove that the triangles AOB is equal to DOC. AOB is equal to DOC. These two triangles are equal. You have to prove. And then you have to prove AO is equal to DO and BO is equal to CO. Now, how do you start? You write the statement and then you write the reason. Statement and the reason. The reason. You make a line demarcation, you go on writing whatever your statement and you have to write the reason. Now AB is congruent to CD. It is given. It is given. It is given AB is equal to CD. So these two lines are congruent. They are also parallel. They are also parallel. Now angle ABO. Angle ABO is congruent. ABO is congruent to DCO. Angle DCO. Now this angle ABO is congruent to DCO. Now what is the reason of this angles being equal? They are alternate angles. Now you know what are alternate angles? When two lines are parallel and a line which passes through these two intersects the two parallel lines, they make this alternate angles, and these angles are congruent. So they are alternate angles and therefore they are congruent. So the reason what you have written, they are alternate angles. Alternate angles are formed by the intersecting line of two parallel lines. When two parallel lines are intersected by a line, they form alternate angles. So these are the alternate angles. Same way, these two angles are congruent because they are alternate angles. So you can write BAO, which is congruent to CDO, angle CDO. Why? Same reason, they are alternate angles. They are alternate angles. One line is equal, these two angles are equal. A is equal to D, B is equal to C, and AB is equal to BC or CD. AB is equal to CD. So two angles are congruent and the line in between is congruent. Therefore, the triangle AOB is congruent to triangle DCO. Now these two triangles are congruent by which test? That is ASA, angle side angle. This is angle, this is side, this is angle. So these two triangles are congruent. Now AO is the corresponding sides. AO, you have to prove that AO is equal to DO. What is that? Corresponding sides of you have already proved that they are congruent. The triangles are congruent. So the sides are going to be congruent because they are corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Now BO is equal to CO. BO is equal to CO. Again, they are the corresponding sides of the congruent triangle. So now you have proved that it is congruent. Corresponding sides of congruent triangles. So now you have proved this triangles AOB is congruent to angle DOC. You have proved the sides are equal. So this is how you write the statement and write the reason for it to prove that these triangles are congruent, the sides are congruent. So whatever is given is given. Whatever you have to prove is you have to prove by making the statement and writing the reasons. And you should know the concept of parallel lines and the congruence of the triangle. Now, look at this figure. AB is equal to AC. AB is equal to AC. Angle BOA. BOA and COA. COA, that is 90 degree. It is given. This much is given. Now, what you have to prove is AOB. AOB is congruent to AOC. AOC. This triangle is equal to this triangle. You have to prove. Then you have to prove this angle B is equal to angle C and BO is equal to C. Now here again you have to write the statements, make two columns and write the statements clearly, and you have to write the reasons also for your statement. Now you can draw a line to make it clear that this statement and this is the reason. Now what you have taken is triangle AOB, AOB and triangle AOC. That is what you have to prove from this, that they are congruent. So what is given? AB is equal to AC. AB is equal to AC. That is given. That is given. Now AO. AO is equal to AO. That is common side. So now you know that two sides are equal. One is given and one is common. Now what is given is angle BOA is equal to angle COA is equal to 90 degree. That is also given. Now you know that these two triangles now AOB and triangle AOC, they are congruent by RHS test. That is, right angles are equal and the hypotenuse, this side AB and AC, they are hypotenuse, and another side, that is AO, is congruent. Therefore these two triangles are congruent by RHS test. RHS test, that is right angle, hypotenuse and side. So now you have proved triangle AOB congruent to AOC. So one part is proved. Now what you have to prove is angle B is equal to angle C. They are the corresponding sides of congruent triangle. So they are equal because they are corresponding sides of congruent triangle. Congruent triangle. Now PO. This is angle, this is not sides, they are the corresponding angles of the congruent triangle. They are the angles. Now comes the side BO is equal to CO. This is the corresponding sides of the congruent triangle. Congruent triangle. So this is how you prove each step. Whatever is given, you write the given first. Given, this is common, this is given, again this is given. Then by this test, RHS test, these two triangles are congruent. Now angle B is equal to angle C. They are corresponding angles of congruent triangle. BO is equal to CO. They are the corresponding sides of the congruent triangle. Hence you have proved that whatever is asked, you have proved. You have taken whatever is given and you have proved. You have to write the clear statements and you have to write the reasons clearly to get full marks in exam.